What I'd like to share with us today is an amazing teaching from the Slonemer Rebbe in his book Netivot Shalom on the holidays. This is the volume Bet of Netivot Shalom, and I'm going to read the Hebrew and translate. And this is about the joy of the Seder. And let me be clear about what I mean by the joy of the Seder. It's I hope your Seder was joyous. Mine was amazing. We had a great Seder, 35 people. It's great sharing around the table. The food was fantastic, and we explored and experienced liberation in just the deepest way. And it was joyous as festivals are, as gatherings of family and friends and people who want to be together on a festive, mythic occasion. The Slonemer looks at not so much the experience of the joy, but the potential for a very special, deep joy, as according to the teaching, Passover is the most incredible, joyous gathering of the year with a very specific quality of joy, and let's jump right into it. So here we are. Uvesidur ha'arizal kotev, and is written in the prayer book, in the Sidur of the Arizal, which is the Rabbi Isaac Luria of Tzfat, which was the founder of really Kabbalah as we know it in the 16th century, a great mystic. And he taught, She'ein zman simchat hashchina kol kach kmo balayla hazeh. There is no other time of Shekhinah joy as on this night. This is the night of the Seder. Shekhinah joy. Shekhinah is the indwelling presence of God, which is also considered the feminine aspect of God. God, the experienced God, as opposed to Kudsha Brichu, or the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be, which is the God that's transcendent, that's out there, that's beyond the human minds and the human experiences access. There is that aspect of God. But then there is Shekhinah. Shekhinah is the God who's immediate, who's intimate, who's close. The God that you and I are bathing in. That is Shekhinah, the feminine aspect. מכל זה נלמד לדעת גודל השמחה שיש בליל סדר פסח. From this we will learn to know, to appreciate the joyfulness that is present on the night of the Passover Seder, both in the heights, in the upper realms, uvatachtonim, in the lower realms, which is in our immediate experience, in our ordinary life. So there's the experience of the upper realm, the experience of joy that is above and beyond, and then there's experience of joy that is present to us. עד שהלילה הזה הוא הזמן השמח ביותר מכל השנה, which makes this night the most joyful, the night of the deepest joy in the whole year, in the whole Jewish holiday cycle. והטעם בזה, and the reason for this, כי עניין יציאת מצרים מלבד עצם הגאולה, כולל גם מה שאז נהיו ישראל העם הנבחר. It also includes the theme of the people of Israel becoming the chosen people, עם הנבחר. שזו השמחה הגדולה ביותר, which is the greatest, utmost joy of all. And now I know that for many of us, the concept of the chosen people is one that perhaps triggers a mix of feelings. I want to clarify, just touch on that point here of the chosen people, to allow us to absorb that in the spirit it's been offered here. So being the chosen people automatically for a lot of us brings up, oh, we are the best. Everybody is lower, we are higher. So there's a certain touch of arrogance, right, of chauvinism. Good for us, we are chosen, we are the great Jews, and everybody else is just lesser. They're lucky that they got into the game at all. So that is one way of looking at it. But becoming the chosen people at the time of the Exodus was first of all, one way of looking at it is becoming the choosing people. We've chosen a certain path and a certain destiny that was there for us in potential, and we stepped into the sea, right? Into the split sea. It says that the sea did not split originally, but Nachshon, the Midrash teaches us, stepped into the water and walked into the water till the water came till his eyeballs, and all of a sudden, because of his courage and dedication and willingness to go against odds, the sea then split, right? So that was his choosing. He chose a path. He chose a path forward, despite the sea. And that was the choosing of the people of Israel at that time. They chose freedom. They chose liberation. On a spiritual level, they chose what we call God. They chose the specific spiritual path that comes through Torah. So that was a moment of initiation for a whole people. We have stepped our first step on the path of Torah, of connecting with the divine and connecting the world with the divine. And that is what we celebrate. We celebrate that initiation. So the chosen people means really being the people who have chosen to carry the path, the methodology, and the gestalt of Torah. Torah is Hebrew for the, capital T, teaching, capital T, T-T. The teaching is the English translation of the word Torah. So we've become the chosen people. We've become the people who carry, implement, practice, and gift the world with the gifts of the teaching of the Torah. This is not to diminish the teachings that come through the Buddhists and the Christians and the Muslims and the many different traditions in the world. They were chosen for those teachings. We were chosen for the Torah. So we have become the chosen people, or the choosing people, which is the greatest joy, the greatest joy. Now, I'm attempted to blurt out the punchline, but I'm not going to do that yet. And you'll see what that joy is like. But let me start to set our thinking in that direction. What is the greatest initiation? What is the greatest joy in most people's lives? What is the greatest moment? And this is again taking the mythic, taking the collective story and applying it, because it's always a metaphor for my and your personal story. What is our greatest joy? What is the greatest adult initiation of choosing and being chosen? We'll get there. כמאמר הרב הקדוש, Rav Baruch ממג'יבוש, זיכרונו יאיר עלינו, as taught us the holy Rabbi Baruch of Medjugorje, may his light shine upon us. And by the way, this is the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov, who also continued the court in Medjugorje, which was the home of the Baal Shem Tov, the place where he ministered, had his community, and eventually passed. That was Medjugorje, was the Baal Shem Tov's community in Poland. שפעם אחת אמר לאנשיו בשולחנו הקדוש שיגלה להם את הסוד של יציאת מצרים. Once he taught, he shared the secret, the deep meaning of the Exodus from Egypt with his students, with his followers. And as they gathered to listen to his teaching, he said, "Ilmale hotzianu HaKadosh Baruch Hu mimitzrayim hayinu tzoanim." If God had not taken us out of Egypt, we would have not been Jews today. We would have been gypsies. For him, it was real. He is in Europe, in Poland, and they know the gypsies very well. The gypsies are another minority, with equal troubles. So he's saying, you know what? We could have been gypsies, and that we could have not been here to fulfill the purpose and gift the world with the specific gifts that Jewish tradition has to offer into the salad bowl of humanity. ומשום כך זה זמן שמחה יתרה כי בו נתעלו להיות העם הנבחר. This is why we're so joyous, because there's extra joy, שמחה יתרה. There's an additional layer of joy because we have become the people who are on the path that we are on now. And this is exactly like, what's the greatest initiation in our personal lives that has to do with choosing and being chosen? Betrothal. Engagement. This is exactly like the joy of the engagement between a man and a woman, says Reb Baruch of Medjugorje. כי בחג הפסח נהיו ישראל בבחינת מאורסים להקדוש ברוך הוא כביכול. Because it was on the time of Passover, the holiday of Passover, that Israel has become engaged to the Holy One, blessed be. And he continues, meaning that the Holy One, the Kudsha B'richu b'Knesset Yisrael, היינו Kudsha B'richu b'Knesset Yisrael, כי פסח הוא בחינת אירוסין, עד שבועות שאז הוא בחינת נישואין. Passover is the engagement between the Holy One, blessed be, what we also call God, and the people of Israel, Knesset Yisrael, the gathering of Israel, the collective consciousness of Israel, and the 7 weeks that lead from Passover to Shavuot, the 7 intervening weeks, pass. That is the time, the lag time between betrothal and Passover and the actual wedding on Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot. So Shavuot is the time of the holiday that celebrates the giving of the Torah, which is the marriage between Israel. The Torah could be considered the marriage contract, or the ketubah. So we have the engagement is on Passover. Then there's this waiting period, 7 weeks, and then Shavuot is the actual wedding between the Holy One, blessed be, Kudsha B'richu, and Knesset Yisrael, the people of Israel. What a beautiful metaphor. What a beautiful, beautiful metaphor. So you get that when we come into Passover, we're coming into Passover with this romantic excitement, with this desire for connection, for divine connection, for merging, for beginning the process of a covenant, a lifelong soul and body merging between the people of Israel And if we take it to the personal level, between me, my soul, your soul, and everything. And the Kudsha Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be the entirety of existence, right? The Holy One, the Divine. He says, but if you should argue that the event of the wedding is actually much higher than the event of the engagement, because that consummated, that's the conclusion, that's the purpose of engagement, right, of the whole process. It's like, what are you so happy? I mean, you know, don't get ahead of what's the word? Don't get ahead of yourself here. You know, it's preserve the real joy for the wedding. He says, should you say that? Well, hey, you know, it's like, this is only engagement. What are you so excited? It's, you know, the marriage should be the highest of joy. He says, Mikol makom, hasimcha הגדולה ביותר היא בזמן האירוסין. Nevertheless, the greatest joy is during the time of the engagement party or ceremony, שבו מתברר ונקבע עניין, at which time the whole concept or the whole process of union is being clarified and set in motion. Everything that comes after that is just an extension of that moment of engagement. You know, we think about a wedding as a wedding. We forget about the moment of engagement, the quieter moment, where a couple and perhaps the family, usually the engagement party is much more modest, but actually that's the time of the highest joy, because that's when a process is actually launched. And yes, it will be consummated at the wedding, but there's something about that original primordial first moment of, yes, we are actually doing this. That has a special quality of joy that should not be overlooked. In fact, that is the greater joy. וזה גם עניין בראש כל מועדות ניסת פסח, כיוון שבו נבחרנו לעם קודשו בבחינת אירוסין. And this is the same thing about Passover, that Passover is the happiest actually holidays of all holidays in the Jewish calendar, because we have been chosen through the process of betrothal to have our union, our connection with the Holy One. And this makes that period between Passover and Shavuot a very special, very spiritually charged period. Has a special energy and a special time. And in fact, this time has just begun. We've begun the counting from Passover towards Shavuot right at this moment. ואם אמרו חז"ל בכל דור ודור חייב אדם לראות את עצמו כאילו הוא יצא ממצרים, and since the sages have taught that in every generation a person is obligated to see him or herself as if he or her themselves have left Egypt. We read that in the Haggadah. So, כמו כן, בוודאי מתחדשים בכל שנה כל הבחינות וההערות שהיו אז. Therefore, in the same manner, every year during Passover, all the energies and all the illuminations, ha'arot, all the spiritual great or light that has been present to the people of Israel at the time of that original engagement. Can you imagine the Exodus as this giant collective 2 million people having an engagement party with God in the universe? What an awesome, Woodstock, I'm talking about the festival, doesn't even compare. And so he says, because we are every year at Passover, it's as if we ourselves have left Egypt. So every year during the Seder, it's as if we are engaging again, having our engagement, our betrothal again, as the first time. הן עצם הגאולה והן היותנו לעם נבחר, ומתחדשת בחינת אירוסין, כדרך שהיה ביציאת מצרים, שהיה בבחינת ארוס וארוסה. He's saying in the same manner, we re-experience the liberation, the liberation from slavery to freedom, and we also re-experience the choosing, becoming the chosen people, and the aspect of the process of engagement is also fresh for us. כדרך שהיה ביציאת מצרים, as it was during the actual exodus from Egypt, and this is like the meeting of two partners in engagement, arus ve'arusa, the male aspect and the female aspect, who make the union, make the covenant, and are initiated onto a new path. With that, I want to bless you. That this Pesach, this springtime, I hope you feel it in the air. I'm looking out the window as I'm looking at you. The window is right behind the camera, and it's a beautiful spring day. The leaves are halfway to being fully out on the trees. The colors are incredible. This is time of new beginning, of initiation, of the beginning of a path. May this year be a path of union and harmony, of discovery of joy, the deepest joy. And with that, we're going to conclude for today. I'm Rabbi Reuben Modik with Hebrew Learning Circles and Makom Halev Community. Look us up online, makom-halev.org or HebrewLearningCircles.org. Love to hear your take on the teaching. I'd love to hear your opinions. Please comment below, and let's get this conversation, keep this conversation going for ever deepening and ever finding meaning, joyful meaning. You know what? Let's take the whole array of emotions and of intellectual engagement about Passover and the beauty and wisdom thereof. Keep in touch. Please like and subscribe. Come back tomorrow for more. Goodbye.